So really the way we structure things is as I've told you, we're a strategic partner.
So in this video, I'm going to walk you through a live call and how to close a brand exclusive step by step. By the end of this video, you will understand exactly how to implement my key strategies for closing a brand exclusive on the phone for your Amazon wholesale business. Let's dive into it.
Worked with an agency and the consulting fees were kind of outrageous and it wasn't really enough bang for your buck, so to speak. So really the way we structure things is as I told you, we're a strategic partner. So we're carrying the inventory, we're making money on the inventory we sell. We look to take a portion of that, the profits that we're making, and reinvest back into the brand because we've all acknowledged that has been lost market share. So any regain of market share is to our benefit, right? Because we're carrying the inventory, we're selling the inventory. What is your kind of reseller scene on Amazon right now? I know you guys have a number of different resellers on there. Is that something that you're looking to limit? Is it something that I guess maybe just talk me through that a little bit?
Yeah. We previously cast a pretty wide net. Anybody that wanted to buy our product on our website at list price, we would say sure, why not? But we've seen recently that has created a pretty long list of resellers that's really driving down price and just making it a messier marketplace for our brand. So probably in the last half a year, we haven't taken on we've told you guys, but we haven't taken on many new distributors of our products. We've got probably 4 or 5 that have been really long-term, high-volume purchasers. I'd say we're open to trying to cut off some more of the more outskirts resellers. We want to maintain a strong relationship with fewer sellers versus just casting that really wide net.
We may be willing to drop off some of those bigger resellers if we've got somebody who's strategically helping us develop our brand.
And that all makes perfect sense. The way Amazon works, as I'm sure you know, is Amazon is a price-driven platform. So to Amazon, in many cases, nothing else matters but the price. So it's like this counterintuitive relationship to the number of resellers that you sell to, right? Because traditionally, in traditional distribution environments, competition is good, right? Having multiple different sellers is good. But with Amazon, the way they determine who is and who is not going to get the sale is dictated by price. So if I'm priced at $14.99 and the next guy prices at $14.90, goes 10 cents cheaper, they regain that position called the buy box. And the buy box is that add to cart, buy it now button. And then beneath the buy box, it says ships from Amazon. So it ships out of Amazon's warehouse, sold by so-and-so, whoever that reseller is. So I'm priced, let's say, at $14.99. Well, the next guy says, this guy, got the buy box. Well, I no, we want to get the buy box. So everybody's running on this automatic repricing system. It's all automated. So it's just keeps trickling down. And I'm not saying you guys don't have a bad situation here with the pricing standpoint. I've seen far worse. There's essentially an inverse correlation between the number of resellers that are selling a product on Amazon and the retail price. As the number of sellers on the listing goes up, the retail price has a tendency of going down. And I can pull up a chart of what that looks like. But, it's just kind of the way Amazon works. And this is what I tell a lot of brands is, limiting the number of resellers, which sounds like that's what you guys are leaning in towards, is definitely the best option. I don't say that out of selfish reasons. I purely say that because even if I wasn't involved in this conversation, I would say sell to fewer, right? It's just a better approach for you guys. And as pointed out, being open to, narrowing that down even further with a strategic partner is, with all honesty, I think the best approach for many brands. Nobody's saying we need to or should jump into an exclusive agreement tomorrow. Nobody's saying that at all. But a lot of times what we do with the brands that we work with is we crawl, then we walk, then we run, so to speak. So we start working together, right? We start buying from you guys. We start optimizing the listings and doing these different things and collaborating together without asking, for any sort of anything, right? Just maybe you guys are looking to narrow that reseller number down, and that's entirely within your own discretion. But as we work together and build our relationship, I'll tell you, just from past experience, many times it starts to advance towards exclusivity on Amazon, right? Does it always end up there? Sometimes yes, sometimes no. If it doesn't end up there, it doesn't mean we're not interested in doing this. But, if that sort of a model is of interest to you guys in terms of, hey, let's work together, let's build strategy around this. We're not going to charge you anything for a retainer or anything like that because we're a partner, we're a reseller, we have skin in the game. We want to grow our own sales too on the product, right? We want to sell more inventory. So that's how we make our money. If you're open to that sort of approach where we advance together and then, as we hit milestones, conversations where, okay, let's revisit this. Let's say, is it a good idea to maybe narrow this number down? Is it a good idea to maybe even look at exclusivity? All different things like that. If that sounds like a path that you're interested in, that's pretty much right in our wheelhouse, how we do things.
How does that work then as we are developing the content? Or you're going to have some advice, or you're going to do some work probably on helping us develop the content for the listings? Are you doing that just from the revenue that you're generating, the income you're generating from the product sales?
Yeah, so there's virtually no service revenue component to our business because we work either exclusively or very selectively, meaning there's like under a handful of resellers on there with our brands. The exclusive relationships, quite frankly, are the most robust because it just means that we're retaining more margin. So we're able to invest more back into your brand. We're able to put more money into advertising and ensure that, when a customer searches or some of keyword of the like, that you guys control the digital real estate at the top of the screen. And you could even, if you search on Amazon, you'll see a headline banner ad. It's just an advertisement. You've seen it before. It's basically there's a few different products there and another brand and maybe a video or something. I would love to see a video of your product in that slot. This is a real estate play for the same reason you would pay Costco a slotting fee or put end cap at Walmart. This is a real estate play to get your brand out there and to get the customer more educated who is going to potentially buy your brand is putting a video right front and center when they search for your branding. Well, now you guys just became the number one educator in this space and blew out product, right? Because they're not doing that. And because we're absorbing those costs, in the exclusives, like we just have more money to put into those kinds of ads. It's really just a means to an end, so to speak. It makes the partnership more robust. It aligns, it 100% aligns our interest with yours. And again, nobody's saying we need to jump into anything like that on day one, but to your question, that is how we are able to run a profitable business is through those structures.
All right, sounds good.
All right, so let's recap this. As you saw, there were a few key pivotal points of this call. So in the beginning, I immediately slowed down the conversation and planted the seeds early by using the bad past experience that brand had with an agency to show them why having one strategic partner on Amazon makes sense for them and aligns with everyone's interests. I focused on how a strategic partnership gives my business a vested interest in the success of their brand because it incentivizes me to grow sales for them on Amazon because at the end of the day, we are carrying their inventory. We have skin in the game and we want to sell more inventory just like the brand. But notice, I didn't say the word exclusive yet. When you're communicating with the brand, learn to replace the words exclusive seller with strategic partner. We were still early in the conversation and I didn't want to scare them away. And if you'll notice, they actually started using my words strategic partner in the conversation, and that's how I knew I was really getting somewhere. I then went to my calibrated question, which I already knew the answer to. I asked them, what is your reseller scene on Amazon? And I already knew what their reseller scene was. They had too many sellers. So then why did I ask? Well, I wanted them to verbalize the problem so that I could then lead into the exclusive conversation. Remember, we're dancing with the brand. It's an art, not a science. I then use tactical empathy and acknowledge that their decision to move forward with limiting the number of Amazon resellers made perfect sense and was the right decision for them to make. The strategy of tactical empathy builds trust, influence, and is going to help me close the deal because I'm acknowledging and understanding my prospect's emotions. Next, I educate them in a relatable way that, most importantly, they could understand about the downsides of selling to multiple different resellers, and I talked about the potential upside of narrowing down those sellers, which led me perfectly into my value proposition, which in this case happened to be PPC ads, particularly brand advertising, which again, I delivered in a way that was aligned with their overall vision. Their overall vision was to educate their customers and maintain prominent digital real estate for their brand. And most importantly, I delivered this value proposition in a tonality that I like to call the 3 C's: calm, confident, and convicting. By the end of the conversation, we were all talking candidly about exclusivity, and they were on board to working toward that mutual goal. And as I've said before, brand exclusivity, it's an art, not a science. So it's not black and white, and we can't apply a one-size-fits-all policy to a process that is just so dynamic. We're playing off of the brand's emotions and pain points and then guiding them toward a favorable outcome for us. Brand exclusivity is my favorite part about the Amazon wholesale business because it gives me the highest ROI on my time. This is how I want you to start thinking about growing your Amazon wholesale business. Time is your most valuable asset. We could spend 1 hour on a call and close a 7-figure brand exclusive account that will generate us perpetual income month after month and year after year. So now that you know how to pitch, implement, and close a brand exclusive, you need to understand how to create a wholesale business that becomes a well-oiled, cash-generating machine. This will enable you to spend more time on the phone with brands and not have to get bogged down with all the other tedious components of running an Amazon wholesale business. So watch this video next where I'll walk you through the exact system to build a massively profitable wholesale business step by step.